Trump did a live interview on Fox News last night directly after his rally in New York, and I want you to watch the exact moment that Trump slips up so badly that even the Fox News hosts are left wondering if this is a man who will be fit to serve into his early 80s. Now, we are 47 days out from the general election, and the difference between these two campaigns could not be more stark. We have Trump melting down on social media, melting down on stage and on Fox News, selling crypto and NFTs, not able to gain his footing when attacking VP Harris. And I also want to compare that to VP Harris's speeches yesterday, where she absolutely killed it. Her and Tim Walz are on message. We have a lot to break down with 47 days to go, so make sure you leave a like, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and let's jump right in. In this first clip, Trump says that his only regret during the debate is that he didn't go harder. He didn't act more unhinged.
And I think my only regret is that I wanted to be elegant and I didn't want to go after the anchors. I wish I did, in a way.
Well, that's our job. We took care.
He said he wishes he did, and you know what's funny, because the first time I watched this clip, I thought Trump was saying, I wanted to be elegant, I wish I was more elegant, but at the end, he corrects himself and says, no, I wish I went after them harder, which is classic Trump fashion. You always attack, you always deflect, you lie, and you never ever admit defeat. Something I talk about a lot is how his mentor, Roy Cohn, a New York lawyer, impressed all of these lessons onto him to never ever admit defeat, and 60 years later, you can see these lessons manifest every single time Trump loses an election. He says it's rigged. He loses a court case. He says it's rigged. He loses a debate. He says he won. And all of this behavior can be explained psychologically by Roy Cohn's teachings about 60 years back. Now, let's compare that to Kamala Harris saying that Trump intends to end the ACA with concepts of a plan.
They would cut Social Security and Medicare. They intend to end the Affordable Care Act and threaten the health care of more than 5 million Latinos in our country. All based on, I'm sure many of you saw the debate, so on that point about the Affordable Care Act, all based on concepts of a plan. Concepts.
The momentum is flipping, y'all, because this clip of Kamala Harris has 15,000 likes on Twitter, and these clips of Trump also have 3,000 likes on Twitter, and likes mean nothing, but my broader point here is Kamala Harris is going viral for taking down Donald Trump and boosting up messages about healthcare and abortion, and every time Trump goes viral, it's because he's saying unhinged stuff like this.
And I would have enjoyed it. But it's interesting to see the response to this second attempt. Every time you're under a bigger threat, the media still blames you even more.
Yeah.
It's almost as though they don't see their own role in this. What do you make? Have you just basically accepted this as a fact?
I think so, yeah. Look, the media is extremely dishonest, extremely corrupt, actually. Look at the debate. I walked off, I said, that's debate. You know, they said I'm the GOAT in debates, because I had a lot of debates and I became president. And the GOAT means greatest of all time.
All right, we know.
GOAT. But what a great stage. And I walked off that stage and I thought I had the best debate. And I was very unfairly treated by the anchor. I'm not fans of those guys anymore. And his hair was better 5 years ago than it is now. Okay? That happens.
We all saw Trump walking off that stage, huffing and puffing, and he says that everyone calls him the GOAT of debate, but who is everyone? He tweets that out about himself, and then Fox News boosts that. It's like this self-fulfilling loop where Trump boosts some sort of lie, Fox News covers that lie, and then Trump's feelings are only affirmed when he saw it on the TV, like he said during the debate. Trump also projects really hard during this clip because he says that the media is both corrupt and dishonest. Donald Trump may have been the most corrupt president in American history, save someone like Nixon, and he definitely lied more than any president in American history. Every time he speaks, it is a total bombardment of our informational landscape with just lie, lie, lie. We have never seen it before. In this clip, Trump says that he is shocked that a woman is doing better than Joe Biden. The way he says a woman just seems weird to me.
He was pretty much gone. They said, Joe, it's over. You're getting out. And he said, I'm not getting out. You're getting out. And they were very nasty, 25th Amendment and everything else. He got out. And they put her in. And she somehow, a woman, somehow she's doing better than he did.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine it can last because so weak on people coming in. You know, she was the border czar.
The weird thing that he says comes about here.
How a woman
Somehow, a woman somehow is doing better than Joe Biden. And it's not just Trump. I've talked to a lot of Republicans that say very sly stuff like this. And I'm not one to go around calling everybody misogynistic for no reason. What Trump definitely is, obviously. But a lot of these Trump supporters, the way they talk about Kamala Harris is so clearly misogynistic. I have friends that say, you know, she's just annoying. The way that she speaks is annoying. And they're very clearly referencing her being a woman. They also say, I don't know if a woman could be president. I just don't know if I trust a woman, and that is very clearly misogynistic. In this next clip, Vice President Kamala Harris, let's go back to her. She says, if Trump wins, his allies in Congress intend to end Medicare's power. And then next, I want to play this clip of Trump having a cognitive slip so bad, even the Fox News hosts are wondering if he's okay.
We, because of our work together, have finally given Medicare the power to negotiate lower drug prices with Big Pharma. And understand, if my opponent, Donald Trump, wins, his allies in Congress intend to end Medicare and end Medicare's negotiating power, as they remind us again this week. They are essentially saying, check this out, because you know, you have to ask why, right? So why would you want to end Medicare's negotiating power against Big Pharma? And essentially, they're saying that it's not fair to Big Pharma. That's essentially what they're saying. But I'll tell you what's not fair. What's not fair is that our seniors, for too long, have had to cut pills in half because they cannot afford their full medication. That's not fair. It's not fair that our seniors have had to choose between filling their prescriptions and putting food in their refrigerator or paying their rent. That's not fair.
See, Kamala Harris understands what normal Americans go through, and her and Tim Walz want to help normal Americans because Kamala Harris worked at McDonald's. Tim Walz was a teacher. So many Americans can relate to that more than the dude who was a billionaire growing up and then the dude who went to an elite university that subsequently turned on that very elite university. Now, in this clip, Trump says something about the debate that was totally not true. Not just that he won, but he claims that the audience was going crazy during the debate.
all of them, and they didn't correct her once, and they corrected me everything I said practically, and I think 9 times or 11 times, and the audience was absolutely, they went crazy. And the real,
What?
I thought it was, I walked off, I said, that was a great debate, I loved it. You know, you got a lot of people watch, I guess we had 75 million people watching, something like that, and you have to do well, you can't do badly. For instance, Biden didn't do so well in the previous debate because I had the 2 debates. I had one. We actually had 2 debates. You know, I had one against a man, and then they said he's not doing well. Take him out. Put in a new one. And if she doesn't do well, I wonder if they're going to take her out. Just keep putting it. Let's see if we can get it right eventually. No, but a thing like that's never happened.
All right, Trump claims a few things that are totally false. Number one, he says that he was fact-checked 11 times. No, he was fact-checked twice on 2 incredibly egregious lies. One of the fact-checks was him saying that Democrats kill babies after they're born, and the anchor said, that would be execution, sir. That's not true. And the other one was a demonstrably false lie that Trump told about Haitian migrants in Ohio. So yeah, Trump deserved to get fact-checked on both of those lies, and Kamala Harris didn't get fact-checked because she didn't tell number one, any egregious lies. She didn't really lie at all. Maybe there was one time where she slipped up on a number, but they're not going to fact check her on some random number that she says. But the wildest part of this clip is, Trump says, the audience went crazy. They went crazy. Trump is lying because there was no audience during the debate. That was explicitly laid out in the rules that there would be no audience. So what I truly think here is that Trump is just BSing. He's so used to BSing and saying everything was so big, it was so great, we had the best crowd, that it kind of just slipped out that the audience loved him. He was probably about to say next that the crowd was so big, but he doesn't realize that there was no audience.
I think 9 times or 11 times, and the audience was absolutely, they went crazy.
What? There was no audience. And in this poll, it says overwhelming majority of black swing state voters back Harris across all age groups, according to a new Fox News poll released today. This article was released today. It says among black voters, Trump polled best with young men, but still loses handily with 16% to Harris's 75%. And that is one of my worries. I'm a young man. Obviously, I'm 21 years old. And a lot of people my age aren't attracted to Trump because they understand his policies. Honestly, they don't understand politics at all. They're attracted to this weird macho image that they think Trump represents. And don't get mad at me, I'm just giving you guys a point of view of my friends. A lot of them see him walk into UFC with his fist pumped and they think it's cool. They see him go on Theo Vaughn or on Aiden Ross or on Logan Paul or Jake Paul, whichever one it was, and they think that's cool. And I'm not trying to do the whole right-wing talking point that they need to do more interviews. It's not that. And I'm not saying that Kamala Harris and Tim Walz need to go talk to Pod Save America because that is already a left-leaning audience. I'm just saying, to maximize their visibility, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz should go talk to Conan O'Brien. Conan is so chill, and Kamala and Tim Walz have great personalities. Tim Walz can show up in their camo hats. He can explain that they're both gun owners. I think these would be very powerful tools to reach people who otherwise think Democrats aren't cool. They think that all Democrats are whiny or whatever, when Trump is the whiniest human being ever. So we need to go out and we need to be reaching people in these new avenues of digital media. Tim Walz should go on some podcasts. He's a very likable dude. He can talk about his dad experiences grilling, and Kamala Harris should be doing other interviews with MeidasTouch maybe, eventually. The Howard University poll shows an overwhelming majority of black voters in the 7 swing states support VP Harris. A whopping 82% of respondents told pollsters that they supported Harris compared to just 12% that backed Trump. Approximately 5% of respondents indicated that they are undecided, and the final 1% said they intend to vote for a candidate other than Harris or Trump. This data shows a significant difference between age groups, and now that we are past Labor Day, now that we're less than 50 days out until the election, this polling is very helpful to break down. It's not going to be perfect, but it is going to be helpful. Approximately 89% of black voters over 50 years old backed Harris, while only 8% backed Trump and 4% backed an alternative candidate. And from all the people I've talked to, all the canvassing I've done, older black Americans tend to be much more reliable voters. They will be very, very Democratic voters because they lived through an era where their fundamental rights were stripped away. So of course, people are going to want to preserve the rights that they didn't have for so long. Among younger black voters, the majority still overwhelmingly backed Harris, 75%. That is a great number. But support for Trump doubled to 16%, and support for alternative candidates shot up to 9%. And the thing is, black Americans have every single right to be disillusioned with the institutions around them, so that will oftentimes lead people to the conclusion that neither candidate support my interest. I have black friends from college that say the whole institution is broken, I'm not even going to vote. So the goal is to show that Kamala Harris does have your best interest in mind, but these are still good numbers. Kamala Harris winning 75% is great because we had a poll a few months back that was obviously an outlier that said Trump was winning black Americans by 35%. It was obviously false, but we did have that poll. The age difference was most obvious among men. Men under 50 years old broke 72% to 21% in favor of Harris, contrasted against 88 to 10% among men over 50. Again, I do think older black Americans understand what is at stake. Let me know what you guys think about all this data in the comment section below. Make sure you leave a like, comment a blue heart. I love to hear from you guys. I love to hear your guys' experiences and what you guys are thinking heading into this election. Have a great rest of your day, and peace out.